An honor and very humbled to stand up here to represent CSU-Pueblo and the Thunderwolves. I've been very fortunate to be a part of this for the last 3 years, and I could echo the statements of all the coaches and their teams are well coached. They play hard, and it's really a lot of fun to compete in this league. You know, Alex, you're a lot better looking than Coach O'Boyle, so we appreciate you being up here and doing that. Stitt, did you break the camera on the B2? Was it Stitt that did that? So I want to make sure we have a little fun with this thing. Well, this is our 3rd year, as we said. Very beginning of our process, we had to teach our guys how to crawl. 2nd year, we had to teach them how to walk. This year, I think we're ready to run and get after it, and feel very lucky to have a great bunch of coaches that are a part of it, have a great community that supports college football. I feel very lucky to be in Pueblo, Colorado, coaching college football. We have a simple formula here at CSU Pueblo. It's you win championships on defense, you make big plays on special teams, and you manage the game on offense. And we're really excited about what's going on because we have everybody coming back. We have to replace a couple guys named Chase Vaughn and Jerry McWilliams on defense, but most of those guys played that are going to be able to suit up this year and start for us. One of our heart and souls of our defense is here today, Grant Jansen. He's a defensive end, inside player, but he has a tremendous motor, and we're really excited about his junior year coming up. A couple guys on the defensive line, Garrett Martin Proctor, Justin Herrera, and we're going to have to play two young guys that I think are very talented, and a guy named Bo Martin and Ethan Ward. Our linebacker crew, we're going to be solid there. I think we're going to have one of the better players in the conference named Lee Meisner. Lee has had a tremendous offseason in the weight room. He absolutely is ready to go. The best thing about Lee is that he's a great heart and soul, and he's a 4.0 student and done a great job on the academic part. Jason Campbell is a kid from Hawaii that stepped in last year, got hurt in the Chatham game, but he had a great spring. Damon Sheely, a kid from out of Gateway High School, came on and played very well at the end of the year. And then Beldy Nasecki and Kyle McCall are guys that played a lot of special teams, going to be able to compete on our outside linebacker spot. Chris Brown is one of our corners. He's played all 3 years for us. We're anxious. He's had another great summer of getting himself in the weight room and competing. Mark Sterling, a kid out of Sierra High School here in Colorado Springs. We redshirted last year, and he's really come on, and I'm anxious to see what he can do. We also have a kid named Grant Crunkleton will be competing at the other corner, possibly a safety spot. But we also have recruited some very young, talented kids at our corner spot. So it's going to be interesting. We got some competition there. And I don't think that I could have said that the last 2 years, but we got competition across the board. And when you have competition, as all the coaches know, that's the best motivating tool that you can have. And so we feel very lucky about it. Our safeties are John Bailey. He's been a steady Eddie guy. Josh Costa, he's another kid from out of Hawaii that's kind of been heart and soul, that secondary. And then Denzel Williams and Aaron Hernandez are guys going to be able to compete in that. Offensively, I think we're going to start a new trend in college football. Our quarterback, and I'm going to name Ross Dawson, our quarterback, as a starter today. He's 6'5", 245 pounds. He's a transfer from Butler out of San Antonio. But our center is also from Texas, a guy named Jonathan Jones, and he's 5'9", 225 pounds. So what's wrong with that picture? We're starting a new trend. Hopefully it works, and we're going to roll up our sleeves and have a little fun with it. So, but we got all 5 starters back in the offensive line, and they were all freshmen last year, and we're anxious. They all stayed around all summer. They've kind of developed a close-knit group, and Coach Simonton has done an outstanding job in leading them. Our running back group, I think, is as talented as anybody in the conference, and I think we got 2 guys that Jesse Lewis, that is, ran over 1,000 yards. Jamal Johnson, the kid who's here today, is from Fountain Fort Carson. He was just short of 1,000 yards. And then we got 2 other guys right behind him, and I think are really talented too. And Dominic Harris and Marquise Enoch, who will play a little bit as a returner and out in the slot a little bit. So we feel very good about that. I think the biggest improvement we're going to make on our team is at our fullback spot. kid named Gio Ryder has come on and had an outstanding summer, had an outstanding spring, and he's a kid that's 6'2", about 235, and has tremendous athletic abilities from Pueblo County. So I'm really anxious. Gio has gained a lot of confidence. We have 4 talented tight ends that I think are going to be a part of our packages, and Kobe Whittick and Roger Feinerschmidt, Josh Bridle, and Tyler Hamlin. And then our wide receiver group, I think, is going to be young but very talented. We got a kid, Dequan Cartwright, who played at Pueblo South, been with us all 3 years. Got a kid named Derek Gainey. And we got some young kids, freshman kids, but I'm really excited to see what they can do. And Armani Brewington, DeAndre Cooper, and Josh Sandoval. And then a kid named Bernard Jackson, who played up at University of Colorado. We're going to try him at receiver at the first part and maybe a little safety and see where we can put him in right now. We haven't quite don't know where that piece of the puzzle is until we can start working with him. As our quarterback, as we talked about, is Ross Dawson. He's our starter. He came in the spring, really managed our offense, took control over it, and I'm really anxious to see Ross develop. We have another kid named Sebastian Trio, who's a transfer to University of San Diego, well documented that he got a final year back. Sebastian's had some health issues the last couple of weeks, and we're going to take it slow with him. And I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on him. I'm going to get him ready to go so he has a lot of confidence. But he will play this year. He will play, but we don't know when. But he's a very talented. And then we got Troy Graham, and then also we could see Bernard Jackson. Our kicking game, we got Kyle Major is going to be our kicker. He's not going to be our punter this year at this point. And we have a kid named Brandon Cleason, who's from Pueblo South, that we redshirted last year, and I'm really anxious to have those 2 guys as our kicking game. We're very looking forward to it. I'm anxious to go compete with everybody, anxious to compete with the very best. And you guys, this is a great league, and I feel very fortunate to be a part of it and ready to get after it. Any questions? Yes, Joe.
You got a first place vote in the coaches poll.
That was me. Oh, you're not. No. Hi. No, you can't vote for your own team, Joe.
So do you thank the coaches for that?
Thanks, guys. That's a newspaper guy asking that question.
Coach, what does Ross give you that you haven't had the last couple of years at quarterback?
Ross gives us some leadership. I think our team will run through the wall for Ross. He's been here. He's developed a role with our guys that is we haven't had in the past. And so I'm really anxious to see what Ross can do. I think Ross can manage our game the way we need it to be. He's a coach's son. He's a gym rat. I'm just excited about those type of intangibles that we haven't had at the quarterback spot. Great. Thanks, guys, and best of luck to everybody.